I'm going to ask you to do something. Not today, not tomorrow, but I am on a quest, and I need help. Well, let me back it up a bit. Earth Day happened very recently. Let's go back to Earth Day 2 years ago. And on Earth Day, if you went to any Starbucks coffee, where's the nearest Starbucks? Is there near Starbucks relatively close?
Are you kidding?
They're everywhere, right? Okay. Not terribly important to the thread of the story, but if you went to any Starbucks in North America with your reusable mug and put it down on the counter, they would give you a free cup of coffee on Earth Day as a reward for not contributing another wasteful piece of paper to the just wasting. I like coffee. I love free. I went to 6 of them all day long. Just different Starbucks, filling it up, putting it back, and then Earth Day's over and I can go back to paying for coffee. But McDonald's, there are local McDonald's around here?
Yeah.
Okay. McDonald's had their own giveaway, and it was a little more sinister. They had this new coffee at the time, and for 2 weeks, if you went to any McDonald's in North America, between the hours of 6 a.m. and 11 a.m., you would get a free small coffee, because there's actually psychology in their giveaway. It's a little sinister too. Apparently it takes 2 weeks to break a habit and reform a new one. And they're going after like the Dunkin' Donuts drinkers, and in Canada the Tim Hortons drinkers. Right. And they want you to stop going to wherever you used to go. For 2 weeks, you'll get it for free. And at the end of the 2 weeks, you will be used to going to McDonald's, and you won't go back to wherever it was you used to go. That's their thinking. I don't care. I just want more free coffee. Now, I live downtown Toronto. Hands up if you have been to Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Okay, I live in a cool part of town. It's called the Old Town, St. Lawrence Market area. But it gets really sketchy very quickly. And the McDonald's in my neighborhood is in the sketchy part. So the day after Earth Day, with my reusable mug in hand, I headed out for my local McDonald's to get a free cup of coffee. And I took my place in line behind every homeless man in the neighborhood who had heard about the free coffee giveaway. And when I got to the counter, I put my mug down and said, "I would like that free cup of coffee, please." And the girl behind the counter took a look at my mug and looked at me with this kind of stricken look. And she said, I'm sorry, sir. McDonald's is not equipped to handle those reusable mugs. This is as I'm watching another salesperson hand pour from an urn into 6 paper styrofoam cups labeled McDonald's, which they're then giving out for free. I'm like, well, he's hand pouring. Why can't he pour it into mine? And there was the answer she wanted to give and the answer she had to give. And she's like, well, sir, this is a small coffee giveaway, and that's a large mug, and McDonald's is just not equipped to handle reusable mugs. And at this point in time, the homeless man behind me is getting very impatient, and he's poking me in the shoulder. And he's like, "Man, just take the paper cup and pour it into your cup." And I felt that, like, lecturing him on environmentalism, he's got more than enough problems. That was not the right thing to do. So, but just so you know, I made a vow like 3 years ago. I went on one of these like clean up the city things, and we picked up garbage, and we picked up more paper cups than any coffee cups than any other single piece of garbage. So I made a vow I will never use one of those again. If I don't have my mug, I don't get coffee. So I usually travel with like 2, just in case I lose one.
Backup.
Right? As a backup, exactly. And so I explained this to her, but that didn't sway her, and she said, "Sir, I can't fill that cup up. You're going to have to get out of line." So I left McDonald's, went home without coffee, and I called McDonald's Canada, customer service. And I got a customer service person online, and they said, "What's the problem?" And I explained the whole scenario. And after listening to me, she said, yes, I see the problem, sir. Yes. McDonald's is not equipped to handle reusable mugs. Like it's their standard line. I said, that's not very environmentally friendly of you. And she said, "Oh, sir, McDonald's is terribly concerned about the environment." I said, "You do see the incongruity of that statement. To say you're concerned about the environment and not let me use my reusable mug." And she said, and I quote, "I don't see the connection, sir." I said, "I'm really angry." She said, "There's nothing we can do, sir." I said, I'm going to write a letter." She said, "Do what you need to do, sir." And she hung up on me. Now, hands up if you have, at some point in your lives, been wronged by a corporation. and vowed to write a letter about it. And then not written that letter. That is me, king of good intention and no follow through. But today, I am angry. And so I'm right at the computer, and I start typing, and it's a creative, poetic letter, and I remember the last line was something like, and I guess the only thing green these days about McDonald's is the Shamrock Shake. And I'm not knocking the Shamrock Shake, that's correct, there's history to that thing, right? But I fired off my letter to all 3 of Canada's newspapers. We only got 3. The Toronto Star, the Globe and Mail, the National Post, via email, sent it off. 8 minutes later, the phone rings. The editor of the National Post. Hello, is this Jory Nash? I say, yes, it is. He says, you just sent us this letter about McDonald's not letting you use your reusable mug? I say, yes, the day after Earth Day, I might add. They said, well, we at the National Post, we would like to print your letter. And next day, in the National Post, they printed my letter. And nothing happened. Because 6 months later, McDonald's had the same giveaway. I went back, again, refused service. So here's what I need you to do. If you ever hear of this giveaway, because apparently they will fill this up when it's not the giveaway, but during the giveaway they want like to be advertising McDonald's cups. I want you to take your reusable mug. I want you to go to your local McDonald's and demand that they fill it in. I want to change corporate policy, and I need help.
All right.
Thank you. All right, now I'll go back to singing. There'll be more polemics later in the show.